All right, thanks, Brian. Church, a place where Christian families come together to celebrate and renew their faith. Two Wisconsin high schools planning to hold their graduation ceremonies at a local area church, but now they're facing a lawsuit because of it. Joining us now, Luchenitser, Senior Litigation Counsel for Americans United for Separation of Church and State, and Jay Sekulow, Chief Counsel for the American Center for Law and Justice. Good morning, gentlemen. Jay, let me get right to you, because I know that this school, two high schools, I believe, have consistently held their graduation ceremonies at this local church. It's my understanding that they do it because of the space issue at their school. What's your understanding of it?
That's exactly right. And this, by the way, is not that unusual of a practice. It's often where a synagogue in the community or a church is a large enough facility to hold the number of graduates and their families. And this idea that now, because it's in a church, that we've got a literal constitutional showdown. And with all respect to my friends at American United for Separation of Church and State, if you read the complaint that they filed, it's a theological dispute. They don't like the theology of this church, and therefore they think that the school's violating the church-state separation, the Establishment Clause, simply by using its facilities. And if you take that same analysis and applied it out, if you had an inner-city basketball tournament and a church school made the finals and so did the public school make the finals, and it was in the home team advantage was at the church school, I guess the public school students could object there and not play in the league or play in the tournament.
Right.
I think if that's what we're teaching young people, that's a big mistake. A little tolerance here would be a good thing.
Alex, he makes a good point with that analogy. How many people complained about this that you're representing?
We're representing 9 parents and students in the school district. This is a clear violation of the Constitution. It's a clear violation of church-state separation. These students and parents are being forced to go to church as the price of attending their own graduation. They have to sit through a graduation with a huge cross overhanging the stage where the students receive their diplomas. They're sitting in a sanctuary with Bibles in the pews right in front of them. This is a clear violation of church-state separation, and this church teaches that people who don't subscribe to its beliefs will go to hell and suffer torment in hell for all eternity. It teaches that women should be subservient to men. It teaches that people who engage in sexual conduct disapproved by the church's beliefs.
This isn't a church service. They're not having a church service. They're having a graduation ceremony. And this is exactly my point. You're making this a theological dispute, and the local school's saying, hey, look, we got to have a place big enough. We want to use this facility. And look, I think high school students are mature enough to understand that a school doesn't endorse everything it fails to censor, whether it's the cross at the church or whether it would be in the situation I gave in a sports program. You're going to say that a Christian school that was playing in a sports program couldn't wear their uniform if it had a cross on it because somebody's uncomfortable? No, of course not.
Jada, there are plenty of alternative facilities where this school can hold this graduation. It doesn't matter what kind of religious facility it is. It's still unconstitutional in any house of worship. Jay, if this graduation was being held in a mosque with a huge star crescent right above the stage, you'd be the first person suing them.
I don't have a tremendous amount of time. Let me just ask a quick question. Alex, would you be okay with it held at the church if they covered up the cross?
That would be a second-best alternative. We want the graduations to be moved entirely out of the church. That's the
if that's what we're teaching young people, that you might disagree with something, therefore don't go or don't participate or feel so offended that your constitutional rights are violated because you sat through a graduation ceremony, not a church service.
Guys.
Tells you that's a problem. Thanks, Gretchen.
We'll leave it up to the viewers to debate that in their own mind. Thank you, gentlemen. This high school cheerleader